Hello, welcome back to Add It to the List podcast. This is Avelio.
And Larry.
This is a podcast about two friends trying to finish a never-ending imaginary list of movies from a guy who's watched tons of movies to someone who hasn't watched just about any, and now I want to hear his opinion and whether it be good, bad, disliked, or liked. We want to know. Well, mainly I want to know.
Yeah.
So last episode, of course, was Back to the Future. This episode is going to be an episode where we both watched all three films,
Yeah.
and that is Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park Part 1, the original, Part 2, The Lost World, and Part 3.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
I just want to start off with a fun little story. I've been waiting for this day to record because you know my pops. You know
Yes.
my dad. My dad is, as far as I can remember, he's always been like grumpy. Everybody that ever mentions him is gonna say that he's grumpy, but to me, he's like a lovable dude. Like, of course, he's my pops, right? But I admit he's grumpy, and movies he hates. He like loathes because he doesn't want to pretend that these are just movies. He wants them to happen, right? I've told you the story
Yeah.
where he hates
Rambo.
the Rambo movies because how in the world can one guy defeat like whole countries of armies and stuff and never get hit other than like maybe one time?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he hates Rambo. He hates like all these other movies. It's like, oh, Fast and the Furious, like, oh, that's too crazy. That's like too imaginary. You know, stuff like that. However, this movie, Jurassic Park, the original film, I have a very fond memory of my pops is because he actually took me and a few other neighborhood kids to go watch it. And it's funny because I know he hates movies,
Yeah.
but my pops is so like he's he's so funny with it because as long as he has popcorn,
He's content.
he's cool. I
He
took
can
him,
snack and he's cool.
yeah, I took him to a lucha libre match, and like
Respect.
the first thing is like it's funny because I'm not a popcorn guy. But him, he sounds like a little kid because we were at the Lucha Libre mask, and this was like a few years back, so he was already like in his 50s, 60s, and he's like, he's like, hey, where's the popcorn? ¿Dónde están las palomitas? I want palomitas. You know,
Yeah.
like this giddiness. But it's funny because I told my wife, oh, my dad went to go take me to watch this movie, not my mom, because typically my mom is the movie lover. So she's like, I told my wife, and my wife is like, did he ever like it? Did he like the film? This movie came out in like 93, 94.
Yeah.
And I've never asked my dad if he likes it.
You're a little late, huh?
Yeah, it's horrible. Well, no, better late than never. You know, my dad's still here. So I'm going to ask him.
Yeah.
But it is funny, especially to my wife. Shout out Monse. I love you. We talk a lot about you. Same thing with his wife.
Yes.
You know, but it's just they brought up because they're such a big part in our lives. But she's the one that pushed me into this.
Yeah.
You know this.
Yeah, I tried. I didn't get anywhere.
No, I never wanted. He's always wanted me to do this thing. My cousin Carlos, also sound guy. Once again, shout out to Carlos. No, no,
No.
okay,
No.
no,
Man,
not gonna happen.
There you go.
Hey, he smiled. He smiled. That's good enough. These are close family members that have always told me, why don't you like do some kind of recording, like something, man, like Twitch. Like they want me to play Twitch because I love playing Super Mario games,
Yeah.
and like you've seen like the super hard games I love to play,
Yes.
and they're like, bro, like I don't even know what game you're playing, but it's like I wanna play with you or watch you play it. You know,
Yeah.
so they've always tried to get
Binding
me.
of Isaac.
Yeah, Binding of Isaac or Enter the Gungeon. Enter the Gungeon is the one my wife loves watching me play, which is the one that I showed you with like the guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little lounge.
Yeah, so she loves watching me play that. But yeah, it threw me off guard because I've never known my dad's opinion, and I'm almost positive I've never asked because I probably already know.
There was an assumption.
Yeah, it's already assumed that he probably one doesn't even remember taking me, and then two probably hated the film.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that he had to take care of like all these other kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must have sucked for him. I imagine so. But man, I remember this movie in the theater. It was amazing. I'm sorry you didn't get a chance for that. You're too young.
No, this
You,
movie came out in '93.
yeah, before you were born.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's funny. My little sister was born this year, '93, and so I'm assuming like my mom must have been. That's probably, now that I think about it, probably
that's
why
what
she.
your mom was doing.
Yeah, probably not. Couldn't take me, but damn you, Hilda. That's my little sister. But basically, I have super fond memories of this film.
Likewise.
Like I was typical '90s kids with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Of course, I like dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I love anything dinosaurs.
Yes.
So of course I love these films. But I want to know for you, of course, you're after they've already came out and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, what's your favorite one of the three? That's a good one for me.
My favorite of the three is number one.
Okay,
But I mean,
that's
you,
a kind of obvious.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it just as soon as it starts, you're like, huh?
All
And
right.
like you're in.
All
The
right.
gates open. I got all excited.
What about the next ones?
Three, then two.
Okay,
Three, then two.
we'll talk about it.
You want to talk about it now?
No, no, no. I want to still. I like that where you were going with the whole opening the gates, because I think that's everybody's favorite scene is the whole da da da,
Yeah.
and then the big old gates,
Yeah.
and then of course where he turns her head.
Yeah.
You know, it's to the point where they parodied it in Animaniacs, the new
Yes.
series of Animaniacs. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
of-
oh man.
I can only imagine you as a little, because you must have been a baby.
I think the first time I watched this, I want to say I was 3 or 4,
Yeah,
and I've watched it probably 3 or 4 times a year
yeah,
since then.
yeah,
It hasn't wavered.
yeah.
I've had it on. I had it on VHS at first. I had it on DVD, and now I have it on Blu-ray. I'm holding out for the 4K set
Yeah.
with the completed Jurassic World.
I figured that's what I'm doing as
Yeah,
well.
because I want it on 4K.
Yeah, I remember but you know what's funny? I kind of cheated because I did watch it in the movie theaters again, because they re-released it in 3D
Yeah,
when 3D was a thing,
yeah,
and this was even before I met my wife. I went to go watch it, and I remember that even that re-releasing it in 3D, I remember I liked it watching it in the movies.
I mean, just it's a big screen movie.
Yeah, it's Steven Spielberg.
Watching it at home is cool, but
Yeah.
I can only imagine seeing it in front of you like that,
Yeah, it was cool.
where a dinosaur is actually dinosaur sized.
Yeah, and then the audio. Imagine
Yeah,
the growl of the T-Rex.
yeah,
Dope as hell.
yes.
Now,
Now I'm jealous. Thanks.
sorry, Di. Sorry, but in all fairness, it's gonna be one of those films that's gonna play in the movie theaters yet again.
Yeah, whenever we can go back to the movie theater again.
Yeah,
I'm hoping they bring back that. Now that I think about it, I kind of want to rent out a theater because you can do that now.
yeah,
It's like $200 and you can rent a theater.
yeah. It would be cool, but at that point, like, what? Because I think they only let you play one movie.
Yeah.
So what movie would it be? You think it would be this one?
Oh yes, definitely the first one. I want to see the gates open. 100% the first one.
That's funny.
I like all of them, but the first one is the first one, man.
Yeah, no, I know. No, it's funny. But now that we talked about how your impression on the first one, I gotta go back because I can't see. Don't get me. I love all three, but I can't see how you could say the third one is better than the second one.
There's a simple answer.
Uh-huh.
Simple, very simple.
Mhm.
Second one, too much Jeff Goldblum.
Uh-huh.
Too much.
Uh-huh.
I love him, but it was too much. And the real reason is Sam Neill as Alan,
Uh-huh.
as a 3 or 4 year old, my hero. That's who I wanted to be.
I get it, because he was huge in the first one, especially when one of my favorite things in Jurassic Park was when he's telling that kid that's like, it looks like an overgrown turkey to me, when they,
Yeah.
that scene, and he
He
describes
drags the
and
claw.
then he drags the claw across his belly, and it just made you be like, oh man, this dude's dope.
Yeah.
Like he's so cool. He like
Yeah.
I liked it, and and it's funny because it's these are films that I've watched over and over and over again, and my wife loves these films, so I definitely watch them over and over and over again.
I never get tired of them.
Yeah, I don't think I've gotten tired of them either, but definitely the third one to me is
When
bad, man. It's bad. Like at that point, I believe he's no Steven Spielberg is no longer directing them.
you didn't like the third one?
I'd like him because I watch it because it's nostalgic to me.
Yeah.
But is it a good film? I don't agree. It's a good film. Just the fact it's a there's a dinosaur that screams Alan in the scene. That's pretty
The
bad.
plane scene?
Yeah,
He was having a dream.
it's horrible.
It was
It's
hilarious
horrible.
to me.
It was horrible. And then
I'm telling you,
and
I
then
don't know how old I was when the third one came out.
and then like just the plot of like how it happened, where like they were seeking extreme adventures and stuff like that. It was like they were pushing it. You know what I'm saying? Like they were
They were
pushing,
looking for
trying to
their
get another.
kid.
Yeah, but it's
Ap-
the uncle took the kid and stuff like that. Like it
no,
was just
it was the mom's new dude.
okay. I didn't remember exactly what it was, but I do remember it was just so bad. It was so stupid.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was 6
The
when this movie
the
came out.
fact that you got pee pee dinosaur
That
pee
was
pee.
awesome. It made me crack up every time. I
No,
rewatched these this week
no,
because I knew we were gonna talk about them,
I haven't watched them other than the first one.
and I rewatched them.
Yeah.
And the PP part is the best part. He said, "Is this T Rex P?" Yeah. How'd you get it? You don't want to know.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
it's so it's goofy, man. Like
Yeah,
at this point, it's a kids film, and like these were not kids films.
we
When
talked about.
when you watch the first one, it was like it was a good mixture of like good enough for kids, but also like serious enough to where we can watch it over and over again as an adult and be okay with it. But the third one is like you watch it for its cheesiness and not necessarily as goodness versus the second one, in my opinion. I still like the second one a little bit more than the third one. I still don't agree that it's like the greatest. It's
No.
not that great of a movie, either two or three. But two is definitely a little bit more superior in the sense that you have these new characters, right? And they play into each other. The only one that throws me off is Vince Vaughn's character because he kind of disappears
Yeah.
out of the blue.
Yeah.
But I love Vince Vaughn in the sense that I like when he's speaking Spanish.
Yeah.
Because just seeing that big old gigantic dude speak Spanish,
He's like what, 6'5", 6'6"?
he's huge, man.
He's a big guy.
He's huge, and he towers over everybody in that film. But I like the fact that what's her name? Susan Sarandon is no, man. I always forget her name, but the Goldblum's girlfriend, the photographer.
Yeah.
She's great in the role. She does stupid stuff to where the whole takes baby T Rex. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
But it I like the whole atmosphere of what they're trying to do and the fact that they brought the T Rex to shore, and then
The whole trying to catch a T Rex thing
yeah.
really was not like. I was like, meh.
Nah, I liked it because they brought it back to what is it, San Francisco
Yeah. San Diego.
or San? I was about to say or San Diego,
One of the sands.
and they do this whole where the T Rex eats the dog, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like it's just oh man, it just plays into like the biggest what if. And
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I that's why I find it a little bit more superior because they went somewhere with it versus the part three. It didn't go anywhere other than the fact that they liberated these dinosaurs that flew, and that's how they, got into the world. You know what I'm saying? At the very end.
Yeah.
But
For me, I just thought about this.
but I do want to say on your Jeff Goldblum comment, Jeff Goldblum is amazing in the first one. If it wasn't for his Jeff Goldblumness,
Yes, in the first one.
life finds a way. Like there's
Yes.
no one.
And him being creepy with the chick. Yes.
Yes. The whole time.
I love Jeff Goldblum.
When he's doing that whole water scene on the thing,
Yeah.
it's so like
cringy.
yeah, but it's
Yes.
amazing. It's just he does it well,
Yeah.
And then on the second
Dinosaurs
one,
are around and he's trying to get laid still.
yeah, and then on the second one, it's his daughter, and he's still like he's worried about his daughter, which is a cool thing to see from him
Yeah.
because he's this whole like pimp character to where, and then you got his daughter, which by the way, I love the fact that one, not only was she black, but she was a gymnast,
Yeah.
and then rocked that Velociraptor with her gymnastics.
Yes.
I loved it. I loved it.
I think a lot of the reason that I like 3 more than 2.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about this, I didn't even think about it until right now when we were talking about it.
Yeah.
I saw 3 in theaters.
Oh, that makes a big difference.
Yeah,
That makes a big difference.
like cause
So now
one,
that's where your nostalgia plays.
yes,
So
it's
now
a
you
big
know. Now you
nostalgia.
know my issues with most of these movies that I watched over and over again.
Yes,
I get you. Hey, I get you, my
yeah.
friend.
I mean, I didn't think the theater would have such a big effect. Cause 3, there's not like the big grand gate opening, but I remember sitting there as a kid, all excited. I had an icy,
Yeah.
and when you
Who
know,
took you?
oh my dad,
Okay.
my dad and my mom for sure. Cause at that point, oh maybe just my dad. I think it was just my dad because my brother was 1 at the time. So I think my mom stayed home, but I had to see the movie.
Yeah.
I had to see it, and I'm sure I annoyed my dad to the point
Yeah.
that he's like, okay, because he likes dinosaurs, but he doesn't. He's not like me.
Yeah.
He used to like get irritated at to the point that I like dinosaurs. When I used to beg to go see the T Rex at the Museum of Natural History,
Yeah.
you could tell at some points looking back, it was a bit burdensome. Like, hey, it's the same one.
Yeah.
You've seen this
Yeah.
like 6 times. Like,
Yeah.
enough.
Well, as kids though, we that's the thing. We watch things over and over again.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned it in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one, I ripped Secret of the Ooze tape from watching it over and over again. My little sister, I remember Toy Story for the first one, insane details, but because she was tiny little thing at that age, but she learned how to stop and rewind the film
Yeah.
on back in the day it was the TV combo, TV
Yeah.
VCR combo. So she figured out how to hit back, and she was little, so she had that one tape that would play it over and over again. And then I was like, you could change the tapes, but she was happy, content
Yeah.
watching over and over and over again. And there's one scene in particular. This is just to prove my point. Where there's a scene where they throw Woody into the toy chest and he had never been in there, and then the shark comes out and has his hat on, and he goes, "Hey Woody, no, hey, I'm Woody. Howdy, 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 howdy." And
Yeah.
then Woody goes, uh-huh,
Yeah.
give me that. That scene for my little sister, she watched it
Over.
an ungodly amount of times to where I remember like the cadence. I remember the
Yeah.
timing. I can watch it over and over again. And my wife watches Toy Story with me now. She's like, I can't watch it because you know when everything's happening, and without
Yeah.
knowing, I'm saying it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just that I blame my little sisters for that. But it's worth it because that was a great movie. But that kids will do
Yeah.
that. Kids will do that. So I understand you wanting to see that. Over
And
and
another
over again.
thing, I was 6 years old watching on the biggest screen I've ever seen
Yeah.
a
Oh, that was your
dinosaur
first
fight.
That was your first movie.
No,
Oh, okay.
but still, there was the biggest screen I'd ever seen.
I got
And
you.
it was the first time I'd seen it.
I got you.
But I'm watching a dinosaur fight,
Yeah.
a big dinosaur fight.
Yeah.
And thinking of that, when we got home, my dad showed me Godzilla. That was the first time I'd been exposed to Godzilla, too.
That's pretty cool.
So I kind of linked the two.
Yeah.
Which, I'm sorry for my wife. She has to watch Godzilla 2000
Yeah.
and Jurassic Park 3, and then I watch 1, and then I watch 2.
Yeah.
So it was 3, 1, 2.
Uh-huh.
Even though I prefer the first one,
Uh-huh.
it's Dino fight. And it's
But in the first one, they had it. It's the Velociraptors versus the T-Rex.
yeah, but it wasn't
Yeah.
a big dinosaur fight.
And the second one, it was more.
It was more raptor oriented.
Yeah.
Well, no, because they had the 2 big T Rexes.
They had the T-Rexes, but the T-Rexes were more like humans against. It was like the current human situation, because that's what I'm saying. They went to San Diego, and that's like the big fight.
Yeah.
Is him terrorizing modern cities.
Yeah.
Uh, but I'm not saying I don't like part three. I'm not saying that at all. I like it.
And then he steals the raptor eggs.
My favorite thing is in
And
that whole
Alan just
film,
walking around with them.
and I will give you this. My favorite part, and well, the whole thing, the ongoing joke of that movie is the ringtone.
That one.
That one, I will never ever forget that ringtone. It is like engraved, but it's an ongoing joke, and then the fact that it's like in poop at the end.
If I'm being honest with you,
Yeah,
when I first got a cell phone,
yeah,
that was my ringtone. When
no,
like you could like first customize
yeah,
your ringtone, and I think it was my first smartphone.
yeah,
That was my ringtone. I
no,
found it on Zedge, and it was mine.
no. Mine was older. I had older phone, but my first ringtone will always be. It was the notification. I changed to the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the watch
Yeah.
notification, and then the ringtone was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Dun, 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 dun. Man,
Yeah.
that to me is like I love it.
But that was you at the age that I'm talking about as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm finally on the side of nostalgia. I'm finally on the side like, oh no, but this and this and this.
Yeah, I know.
And it's all nostalgia. It's nice to be on this side of the couch.
Mm.
Same side, but you know what I mean.
But it's funny. It's funny because this is the first time that we're talking about movies that we've both had already watched. But you're right. We had never actually talked about it, which is
Never
pretty
talked
cool.
about this.
And I want to discuss now that we got our order out of the way. Our basically we kind of said our favorite things about them.
Yeah.
But I do want to mention as many times as you watch it, have you ever noticed the errors in Jurassic Park?
No.
Well,
No. You know me. I'm in.
Yeah, I know.
And dinosaurs and dragons.
And me, I'm the opposite. So I now, my wife loves these films, and we just watched it because she knew this episode was about to be recorded, and she's like, "Let's watch it." But really, it's just her wanting to watch it again. So we're watching
You
it.
can't blame her.
Yeah, no, and I don't blame her. I love the film, but I look over at her, and she's like, "You're gonna ruin it for me, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah." So then I tell her what I'm gonna ruin, and then she's like, "Man, now I can't unsee it."
Oh, so you're pointing out stuff while you're watching the movie.
Yeah, because at this point we've already watched the movie tons of times.
Yeah.
So I know she's seen it. Obviously, I've seen it a bunch of times. So
Wait.
now I just want to ruin certain things.
Pause.
What's up?
Was her first time watching that movie with you?
No, she
Okay.
she watched this movie as a kid. Oddly enough, her first ever movie that she watched at the movie theaters was the a '99 or a '98 Godzilla. Matthew Broderick.
Yeah,
Godzilla?
the '98 Godzilla.
Yeah, so she loves that Godzilla.
Oh, still fond of my heart.
Yeah, so she loved it, and that's her.
You hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate it. It's not great. It's a horrible film. We gotta admit that's a horrible film.
I love every second of it.
But it is it's one of those bad but good. I'll watch it again, and we just watched it again. It was good, but so I'm watching it. And one of the biggest things is so when the whole thing when the T-Rex comes out of his cage,
Yeah.
right, and then he's attacking the kids. That glass panel wasn't supposed to come down.
Oh, really?
So when you see those little kids react and scream,
it's real.
It's real because it wasn't so that they had T-Rex issues because obviously it's raining.
Yeah.
Right, because a hurricane is happening.
Yeah.
But the whole big T-Rex was a big animatronics.
Yeah.
And what affects electronics?
Water.
Water. So so that T-Rex, like, it would jerk, it would do all kinds of motions that it wasn't supposed to do, and one of them was go through.
Yeah, it was just supposed to push.
Yeah, it's just
not.
Boop. Yeah, so it went through it, and it scared the kids. Obviously, they're kids. Yeah, it scared the crap out of them. And I told that to Monse, and she's like, I can't unsee it now. Also, same scene. That's why I'm gonna bring it up. So the T-Rex comes out. You see the goat.
Yeah.
T-Rex comes out of the gate. You see it climb over the fence.
Yeah.
So why in the world is Alan dangling from a rope, and then all of a sudden like 100-foot drop? Remember, he pushes the car and the car goes it gets stuck on a tree.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? We just saw a goat.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, so it's a movie continuity issue.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious, right? Once you now you're not gonna be able to unsee it. You're welcome.
Oh no, I'm still gonna unsee it.
It's hilarious. I still watch it. It's still enjoyable.
No,
It's a film, man.
I'm just. They don't know the level of.
Commitment to it.
Yeah, no, not even to this. Just this movie.
Mm.
You pointed out things like this to me before. With
Oh, the fact that you focus on a film and forget everything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm what movie makers want. Complete immersion. I don't pay attention to anything.
Yeah. And
you're the people that they dread because they're like every little thing he's gonna catch. He's gonna catch every little thing. I'm sorry her watch wasn't the same.
But I don't do it on purpose. It's just I've watched this movie so many times. You're like, what in the world? How did this happen? But so there's also one kind of like white elephant in the room. Well, yeah, white elephant. Is that what you say?
I'm not sure.
The elephant in the room that I want to talk
just
about.
the elephant.
That I want to talk about. No, white elephant isn't that like the gift thingy?
I believe so.
My bad. I'm not sure. This is customs that I'm not used to.
I'm just saying, dog.
But the elephant in the
elephant
room.
And it's white.
Yeah. And basically, what I want to talk about is the fact that I don't know about you, but when I watched this film, I watched it at the movies, right? But I didn't know who the hell Samuel L. Jackson was at the time. I didn't know anything of him.
Yeah.
But I remember watching him in this film, and I thought he was like cool as hell.
Yeah.
Like his swagger, he just has like this dope swagger
in every movie.
Yeah, and he doesn't cuss in it, so you can't say he's like the king of cussing.
Yeah.
He doesn't cuss, but it's cool. Like he's really cool.
Yeah.
And then he brings the reason why I bring him up because I love him in this film because Samuel L. Jackson is just dope. But then he goes and tries to fix the computer, right? And then the thing that reminds me the most of this film, why I just think it's so funny, is the you didn't say the magic word, and then he just sits there and screams, "Please!" Yeah. I just love that. I don't know why. Yeah. And that character actor, the guy that's stealing the embryos.
Yeah,
it's just so funny because I love him also when he's in the restaurant with the.
See, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. And he puts the shaving cream on the pie. It's just so many little like nuances to like all these people, and you remember them. Goes to show how much I love this film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it definitely Jurassic Park. It has some issues. It has a lot of like little continuity errors.
Yeah.
That I point out to my wife and she hates, but
I mean,
but it's still dope.
This was like one of the first big animatronic movies.
I guess.
Because I mean, you have to think about like we had all the Godzilla movies before this, but that was just
a man in a suit.
Men in suits.
Yeah.
Everything was just men in suits.
Yeah.
And you could tell.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you watch Jurassic Park on the VHS tape.
But I wouldn't agree to that, and the only reason why is because in Jaws, I would say that's more of a like big deal. Because the T-Rex, when he's doing the animatronics, it's standing still. The fucking shark on Jaws, it like literally had to like move through the water, be submerged in the water, and still worked fine.
Yeah.
And that one was, I imagine, supposedly it gave him like headaches galore.
Yeah. But sharks are supposed to be jerky when they're biting on boats.
But what I'm getting at is that I think that plays more of an animatronics, but it is still huge.
Yeah.
It's still huge.
And I mean, if you watch Jurassic Park on a VHS tape.
Yeah. I did.
You believe it.
Yeah, I remember I loved the VHS cover because it was one of those, man, not holographic, where you move it and it.
Lithograph. No, not lithograph. Oh, man.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I just bought the Incredible Hulk one.
Yeah.
That we were talking about.
Yeah.
So excited because it was green.
Yeah, so that.
Oh man.
That I remember the cover. Is what I'm getting at. That one and The Lost World both were like that. The third one I don't remember.
No, it wasn't. Wasn't. You're talking about the VHS, correct?
Yeah, VHS.
Yeah, it was not.
But that's that's being old school with it. Now, of course, part one is gonna be a big part, but let's go to part. Let's just go in sequence. Part two,
Yeah, the Lost World.
the Lost World. What? There's got to be something there that you can say, oh, I like at least this part.
No, I like the whole movie.
Okay.
That's what. I get massacred again. Uh, I love all three.
Mm-hmm.
It's very close for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm figuring out that three is over two because of nostalgia of me seeing it in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Alan
Yeah, Grant.
Grant, Alan Grant, he was a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Two I still liked. I still liked, the baby T Rex. I used to try and make that noise all the time. The little cry that he does.
Yeah.
I used to try and do it. I'm not gonna even attempt it now.
Uh-huh.
But I used to do it all the time, and my mom would get mad. And I love that.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry, I gotta stop you. So you're telling me you were the dad from Step Brothers? The arms?
Oh, dude. Dude, my grandparents love to tell my wife the story
Uh-huh.
of for Halloween when I was like 6. After the third one came out,
Uh-huh.
they got me a dinosaur thing, and I would run around the house with it and swing my little tail around because my little suit had a tail. They've told my wife that story 10, 12 times.
Yeah.
It's like every time we come over, and if a movie gets brought up, my tail gets brought up. They can't get over my tail.
I'm sorry, I just can't. I can't stop picturing you being the dad from the Step Brothers.
Yes.
I wanted to be a dinosaur. What?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my god!
I wanted to be Alan Grant first.
There's some truth to that movie apparently.
Yes.
Uh,
Just saying.
I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to be a Power Ranger. Just about every kid in the that grew up in the '90s wanted to be in Power Rangers. I get it, but it's funny because
Not me.
it plays it in the ¿cómo se llama? But you grew up in the late '90s. I
Yeah,
grew up
but
early '90s.
yeah, but I'm talking about I was Alan Grant all the way. I'm talking about until I graduated high school. I wanted to be a paleontologist.
That's funny.
This is still a dream. If I win the lotto, guess what I'm gonna do?
Go dig.
I'm digging for fossils.
I tell you, that's funny. But I'm sorry. I'll let you go ahead. Keep
What were
going
we
back.
talking about?
You were talking about why you
Oh.
like part two.
The Stegosaurus is in it. The ones with all the plates.
Yeah, yeah.
It seeing like that scene where she runs through and the Stegosaurus swings his tail and almost hits him, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a scene in a movie where they're walking through, and the scene when in the first one, to refer back to that, when they when he turns her head and they see all of the Brachiosaurs. And we talk a lot about movies, obviously,
Yeah.
even outside of this.
Yeah.
But you talk about how a scene's beautiful.
Yeah.
And how you notice it. These were the first movies that I noticed about.
Yeah.
And when you say a scene's beautiful, I always think of those scenes.
Yeah. I get it. It was properly shot and everything like that. Even the music, because again, I tell you all the time, I know you don't notice it, but music plays a big part on scenes and why they're so memorable. Obviously, we can go through the gate scene. We all know that tone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But part two, I like that you bring up that scene because it's cool because that's when you're kind of getting to know this chick and how crazy she is because
she's wild.
Yeah, she's off the wall. You don't know what she's gonna do, and then she does the whole pick up the baby Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah.
But my thing about part two and why I like it a lot is when they're going through that open field, and they're catching all the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Where like their cars and it grabs them in their plates and stuff like that. I don't know why, but I just really love that. Maybe because I wanted the toys. It could be that I really wanted the toys because they came out with the toys.
I remember.
And I remember that's one of my favorite scenes. And then when they liberate them, is even better to me.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I do like part two. I know a lot of people catch slack for it, and part three is even more.
Yeah.
I still like all of them. I love watching movies, you guys, and that's the thing about it is I'll give anything a shot. There's some movies that I'll give more of a shot to. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Jurassic Park. Whether you liked the second one and if you liked the third one, which
Hmm.
obviously I did, it made it to where it didn't fail to the point. Everyone talks trash about the second and the third one
Yes,
because it wasn't as
memorable. I think.
yeah, it wasn't as captivating as the first one.
Hmm.
But everyone talks trash about it. But they're still big enough to where Jurassic World was made. To
Yeah,
where every kid that watched this was like, man, I want to go. I
yeah,
want to go. So what they do? They made a movie series about
yeah,
going,
yeah. I think
and it
Nicole,
went as expected.
I want to ask you this about stuff that you don't notice, right? Because in Jurassic Park 2, one of the big scenes is the falling trailer off the cliff,
Yes.
right? Like, there's a lot of little things that you notice, like, if once you pay attention to stuff like that. I'm asking from your perspective because you don't pay attention to shit like this.
Yeah, I don't
So,
see it.
it's a lot of foreshadowing. Like, her keep talking about her lucky pack. They keep talking about her lucky pack, and then it dangles, and she's trying to get
Yeah.
for it, and then all of a sudden she falls, and that's what she grabs on to
Yes.
catch on. That's like hints of foreshadowing. So that's when that's what makes a scene memorable because it's preparing you mentally
I
to what's gonna
completely
happen.
forgot about the Lucky Pack in that movie.
Yeah, but once you watch it, you know they bring it up
Yeah.
a lot,
Yeah. And they do again in the third one
and then
with the Lucky Pack again.
but the falling trailer scene, right? So it's like it's a big event,
Yes.
and it's cool because at that point, like you're thinking nothing's gonna happen to these guys,
Yeah.
and then you see that guy come and he reversing the trailer, and you're like, oh, okay, cool,
Yeah.
he's gonna save them,
Yeah.
and then he gets just chomped on by the two
Yeah.
T Rexes. I remember that, like it's dope. But the reason why I'm also bringing up the trailer scene is the high hide.
Oh, how far the cliff was down?
No, the high hide, the thing where he's going up and
Oh
the
yeah,
chick.
yeah, yeah.
What is that? It's a high hide. What is it for? You hide.
Hi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I remember watching that
Yeah.
even as a kid. I was like, what?
I forgot
So
all about
stupid.
that. Where he kept his daughter.
Yes,
Yes, I forgot all about that.
it's hilarious because again, I haven't watched part two in like a few months now, and I still remember this vividly
Yeah.
because it's just the stuff that replays in my brain, man,
Yeah.
over and over again.
It sits free in your mind.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I've always wondered like what people think of that, but I I love the high hide because I wanted one.
Just something above your house.
That would be dope, man. I got trees. I can do it.
God.
I'm not gonna lie. I've always wanted to.
We're just gonna have to introduce you to a deer blind or a
No,
deer stand.
no, that's too country. I live in the country, but that's too country.
You can just sit up there. You don't have to. You don't have to shoot anything.
No, man, I'm
Just
good. I'm good. That's
you.
no,
You in the deer stand with the little.
no, because that involves stairs. High hide involved a winch.
You can make it a winch.
Oh man, no, I'm sorry. That's too funny.
So the third one, I'm interested to know your favorite part of the third one because I said the big dinosaur fight
Yeah,
because that's iconic.
I like the river scene.
The river scene with the chasing them
Yes,
and
and
the
and
phone going everywhere.
yes, that is
Oh
dope. And when they're like close to drowning, and then
yeah.
the little boy picking up the phone is so fucking adorable
Oh
to me. Yeah,
yeah.
it's just so adorable to me. Like,
Oh I
where's your mom? Like
yeah
that's you know what I mean. Like it's cool. I that's what I remember. It's because it was meant to be almost like scary. Like
yeah
the way it was shot, it was like meant to be
yeah
like like Jaws, like where
yeah.
it's like da like
It's
this.
horror esque,
Yeah, I liked it.
suspenseful.
I like it a lot. But Jurassic Park 3, I think my least favorite thing is definitely the pee pee scene. I don't know.
Really?
And then it's just
Oh
it was
man.
just too low. I do like where you mentioned that where he's stealing the eggs and he gets
Yes.
caught. What's his name?
Well,
Billy? right?
Yeah, Billy.
Yeah.
And Alan just walking around with him the whole time.
Yeah, without knowing, and he's the
Yeah.
one getting chased around.
Yes.
It was. I get it. It was cool. It was funny. And then the parachute. They again. That's another thing where it's being foreshadowed that it's gonna be used
Yeah.
when he's wrapping it up and stuff like that.
Yes. And the lucky pack.
Yeah.
The lucky pack was talked about again.
Yeah, but that's because he knew what was in there. That's why he kept calling it lucky.
No, he even calls it lucky beforehand. Remember, they're on the plane, and he's like, "Oh man, I brought you here. You could have brought a nicer bag," kind of making a joke. And he goes, "Oh no, this is my lucky pack." And he talks about how he fell before and it saved him.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You sure was right. That I probably blanked out on that one because of the whole Alan. Alan.
Yeah, you probably forgot about it.
I hate that scene, man.
It was great though.
It's so horrible. I don't care if he's dreaming. I can understand he's dreaming, but it was so
But what
stupid.
about when the Spinosaurus breaks through the gate? They're running and they're like,
Oh
"Oh,
yeah.
you made it!" And it's like,
Nope.
boom.
Yeah, that was dope. That was dope. Uh,
I'm not gonna remember. I remember watching it in theaters,
uh-huh.
and when he broke through,
Uh-huh.
I jumped and peed a little.
I,
I
it's
was
cause,
like 6.
that's because the last time we see that fence is when the little boy Timmy gets shocked.
No, this is a completely different island.
No. But I'm saying that type of fence.
Yeah,
That's so. It's kind of funny because to me that's the last time I remember it.
yeah.
And then boom, gets
The comedy in that movie though is great too, because you have the parents that are fighting constantly.
annoyingly, yes.
Yeah, but not only that, it's I love the megaphone scene.
Yeah.
She's like, Ben, Ben, over and over and over again. He's trying to yell at her. Dr. Grant said that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Dr. It's like, really, shut up. Like, just walk the 20 feet.
Yeah.
And then when he's like, he pretends to be, a big time businessman.
Yeah.
And also, he pretends to be a huge fan
Yeah.
of Alan.
Yeah.
And then-
neither.
And then later it comes up. He goes, well, you've been to this island. We need someone that knew, boots on the ground. He goes, I've never been to this island before.
Yeah.
He goes, yes, you have. You wrote that book.
Yeah.
You're gonna argue to someone
Yeah.
about where they've been. It's like there's a second island with dinosaurs.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I
Oh.
get it, but it's just the fact that they had to resort more to like low, like cheesy jokes and stuff like that is where
It was
lost me.
one pee joke.
No, them arguing all the time. That's also an ongoing joke. Like it's just like it's supposed to irritate you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then when they finally get together, oh hey, happy family. But I don't know. Like I get it. I'll watch it over and over again. I'm not dogging it at all.
You're dogging
Please.
it a little bit, dog.
But it's not a great film. Like it's not a great film. That's all I gotta say.
We consider great films very different things.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about plot, you're talking about how it was shot, you're talking about overall script, casting.
Yes.
You're very critic related.
Uh-huh.
To me, a great film is something that you can watch over and over and over and over, and you want to watch it.
But that's not true because there's certain movies that even man, I don't know if you're gonna like this one because you've told me I don't know if you're gonna like this one, man. But I love watching it over and over again.
Yeah, I think a great film is relative. I think it's different for each person.
I guess. You're probably right. I just think about it as in like in a massive amount. Like is
You
like
think
to the masses.
you think of like Oscar worthy, kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like what appealed to the most people.
Yeah.
But I think to each person, I don't know if you can call it a great film.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. To me, a great movie, a great film is something that someone wants to watch over and over and over and over again. And it's just, it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own thing.
No, I agree. That's why I'm super excited for you to eventually watch Surf Ninjas and Three Ninja Kids. I'm gonna keep bringing it up. It's gonna happen. Oh, it's gonna happen.
There's a So besides Besides the pee pee joke and the raptor on the in the dream talking,
And it was funny because I like the poop joke. I like the cell phone and the poop.
I know you like all the poop jokes. We're plumbers, so it's funnier. But you didn't complain about the poop thing in the first one.
Oh, it's because that was like scientific. Like she's trying to figure out. She's trying to
When
figure
she
out.
goes, "Oh, mucus."
Yeah, yeah.
That's who's gonna do this?
She just puts her hand
Yeah, he's
in
like,
a foreign, like something you've never seen in your life before. You just put your hand in his mouth.
yeah.
I thought that was fucking
And
hilarious too.
Jeff Goldblum's like, "Oh, no gloves."
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, but it's just again, they're movies. You're supposed to not take them like super seriously.
Not like your dad.
Yeah, you know.
Don't take 'em like your dad.
You know, but I just I
Like,
don't
how
know.
can a T-Rex
I
not
love
pay
I
for
love Jurassic Park, man. I'm gonna watch them over and over again. I'm not gonna ever stop watching them. I don't care what, even if you had told me, man, oh I hate 3, so I'm still gonna watch it. Like you said,
I love.
you
I
know what I'm
love them
saying.
all.
I was expecting different from you.
What
I
do you
expect
expect?
because I know you like Vince Vaughn,
Yeah,
so I assume
you thought 2 was gonna be.
2.
Yeah,
I thought because that's my order 1, 2, 3, but not because of Vince Vaughn. I just assumed
yeah, I do love Vince Vaughn.
because you would like genuinely like even go out and try to find his films that probably
Yes,
nobody's ever watched.
I still do.
Which I'm happy you watched the one I told you to watch.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
that was
we're
great.
gonna have to do a horror episode or
Yeah,
something like that. A slasher. I
yeah.
don't know what that movie's considered. It's
I
like a
don't know,
fucking
man, but it was great.
It's freaky, by the way. If
Yeah.
y'all are wondering, it's
Oh yeah,
freaky.
sorry. We forget. Sometimes we forget that we're doing this
Yeah.
and we're just talking.
If
This is normal.
it should come out right around the time this episode
Yeah,
comes out. So,
yeah,
but I mean, I think this is a unique experience for them to see as well because this is the first thing that we've talked about. One that we've both seen
yeah,
and are both nostalgic for, obviously.
yeah, yeah.
And two, this is one of the very few movies that we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
We talk
Like
about
in real
it,
life.
yeah, like just in general conversation.
But it's because, in all fairness, though, it's because Jurassic World has taken up the new, like, it's newer, so
I don't think we've ever talked about that.
have we? We talked about the second one, but because we basically watched it around the same time.
Yeah,
But other than that, you're right.
we
haven't
never
really-
talked about the first one.
No, you're right. You're right.
Well,
That's why I'm thinking we talked about it, but it was only the second one.
yeah, it was only the second one.
Yeah. But it's just we typically will always talk about movies, and it's funny because he's right. Me and his wife agree with a lot of movies.
Yeah,
And my wife and him
agree
on a lot of movies. The funniest fact about that is that my wife doesn't really speak English and still agrees with some
Yeah.
of the movies you watch. And sometimes I hate it because some of the movies y'all agree upon, I'm like, oh man, y'all are about to make me watch
Just
some
so
movies.
y'all know, Carlos is about to make a noise.
Yes.
Make the noise, Carlos.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just let it happen. All right, there was the noise. He bumped the couch. He's sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because, we always have to sit where we both sit next to each other's wives when we go out to dinner
Uh-huh.
because eventually we will talk about movies
Yeah.
and there's fist bumping going on.
Yes. Monse fist bumps you when y'all agree, and Christine, she my dog. she got me. But it's funny because I think Jurassic Park though is universally loved in both of our households,
Yes.
and that's pretty cool.
Well, I didn't even think about this.
Mm.
Christine had never watched any of the Jurassic Parks until we started dating.
Really?
I made her watch them because Jurassic World was coming out, and I had bought the tickets.
But did she like them?
Yeah, she liked them, but she's not like us.
Yeah.
She's not like us, and so I had made her watch these only because I had bought the tickets. You remember when they first started? It was 2015. They had first started doing the
Reserve seating.
reserve seating.
Yeah.
So with you could buy your tickets like 2 weeks early and get reserve seating.
Yeah. I love it.
So we had by far.
Yes, I love this.
I mean, still,
I used to hate having to like be in line and then not get the seats that you wanted, that you've been waiting there for hours.
Yes.
I used to hate that stuff.
Yeah, I went to the Hobbit, the Desolation of Smaug midnight premiere,
Yeah,
and it was like that. You just sat there and sat there and sat there. We got there at 9. It started at midnight.
yeah,
It was
it's
back when
horrible.
they actually started at midnight.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah, I mean, god
Horrible.
awful. But
Yeah,
she had never seen these movies. It's like, how have you never seen Jurassic Park? Like, you were a kid when these were coming out.
yeah,
This was really targeted towards you. Like,
yeah,
it's supposed to captivate children.
yeah.
And she had no interest in seeing Jurassic World.
But I think
It was
I'm gonna be honest with you though. It could be because like my sisters, not necessarily as fond as me.
really.
Yeah, like, well, keep in mind again, I'm gonna go over the fact that my oldest sister is not a moviegoer, but
Yeah.
the one underneath her, right? Because I got three in total. The middle one, which is just 2 years older than the oldest one, and a few years older than me. She's 82. I'm 88. But her, she was also movie. You know, she watched movies with me, but not on par. It's like I think the dinosaur thing was a guy thing.
Really.
I think, and I could be wrong, but I'm just saying.
But
But
Dinosaur Encyclopedia that took the show and tell like 3 years in a row.
but you know it's funny. I not just say show and tell. I was never in a school where there was show and tell. I've never done a show and tell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I always used to watch it in movies and stuff like that, and I always thought it was weird.
You just reminded me.
Never had a recess.
I had the Lost World toys.
Yeah, yeah.
I still have the dinosaur, the T-Rex.
No shit.
Yes, it still makes the noise. I messed with it the other day.
That's funny.
I completely forgot. It's in my room, hiding.
That's funny. No, I don't think I have most of the stuff from when I was a kid. Most of the stuff that I got up here on the walls and stuff like that is newer stuff. But as far as
I want to bring it and put it on your wall so they can see.
my wife, she says that she loves the films, but because she watched them so many times, but on TV reruns.
Yeah.
Same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For her, it was always like reruns, so it's pretty cool. You too, Carlos? He's not in his head. He doesn't want to admit. I don't see why he just can't speak. One day, maybe one day.
We'll have to get a separate mic for him.
Yeah,
Get him all mic'd up.
yeah. It
But,
would be cool. Just and have him randomly just
Yeah, he gave the impression that you have a deep voice, so
yeah, Barry White.
Yeah.
That's what they're expecting, dog. Barry White.
make
But
sure you get low with it.
but definitely, I love this. I like these movies. I'm happy you like it too because it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is hopefully another good episode. Hopefully, y'all have any other feedback. We're still listening.
Facebook page, Instagram,
Website.
website, added to the list, podcast.com.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're still updating that quite often.
Yes.
So even if it gets updated even more, yeah, from when we're recording this to when it's uploaded, it's a few weeks behind.
Yeah,
so-
at this point, almost a month.
Yeah, so definitely, maybe it's updated way differently by now, but still, it has access to all of our audio formats of the podcast, and of course, YouTube is going to be our video. Please, give us a like, subscribe, and of course, any feedback, positive, negative, we're here. We don't mind. We like listening.
Yeah.
It's just cool to us because it's just really just us talking. So any feedback will help. We appreciate it 1,000%. We
Yes.
want, definitely thanks to our families. I think more than anything, family and friends for me, because I'm getting like all kinds of like messages and things for me to tell Larry, because
Yeah.
apparently Larry is the one that's like everybody's like just ¿cómo se dice? Bamboozled, or no, what's it called? Just mind fucked that you haven't seen these movies.
I'm looking at Carlos because you cursed and he's going to have to edit.
Yeah, sorry.
That's another thing. We're trying to do on YouTube,
Yeah,
we're going to edit out when we curse. We try not to curse to make it easier on Carlos.
per Carlos.
Unpaid intern.
Yeah,
But we're trying to make it easier for him because he just helps us out and he does a lot.
Yeah.
So we're trying to make it easier on him. But the audio files, there will be no.
Yeah, there's no editing. That's raw.
Yeah,
That's as raw as can come. And that goes up to, like we said, Spotify, Amazon Music,
Apple Podcast,
Apple Podcasts, all these other podcast
Pandora,
platforms. Yeah, Pandora,
Stitcher.
Stitcher. It's a whole bunch of them, man. I'm gonna be honest with
There's
you.
9 or 10 of them.
If it took forever for me to do it, so appreciate you if y'all do go listen to it out there. Um, thank you so much. This has been the Jurassic Park episode. This is once again it's Avelio.
And Larry.
Add it to the list. Add it to the list podcast.com. Thank you.